Yo, what's going on guys, Tanmay here for Simple Snippets and welcome back to the 15th video tutorial of the web development series wherein we are using Bootstrap, HTML and CSS to develop a complete static portfolio website which is pretty professional right from the scratch. And in this video tutorial we are going to be developing the contact us page. So if you've been following this complete playlist, we've developed the home page. So this is how the home page looks like. So it looks pretty cool on the mobile phones also. We've developed the portfolio page. This is the portfolio page. We did it in the previous video. We also made the about us page. Again, if you've been following this entire playlist, you must have seen all these tutorials. And the only top level page right now left is the contact us page. As you can see, there is nothing on this page. We only have the header and the footer. So in this video, we'll develop the complete contact us page. Now before we start off with the coding, let's see the original website and let's try to analyze what all things do we have on the contact us page. So in this tab, this is the original website and there you go. You can see this is the contact us page. Now as you can see, this first section is pretty common that we had in the about us also. We also had it in the portfolio. So we don't have to do anything about that. We'll just copy paste it from those pages. Then the text is also there common. But this is something which is new. This is the forms in Bootstrap. Basically it is a form tag and the input tags inside the form tag. But then it is styled by using some Bootstrap classes. So we'll see that in a minute. Then we have the address information. And at the bottom you have this huge large map. And it is showing Mumbai right now. So this is again an iframe. So if you see over here, we've already talked about iframes when we were designing the footer section, right? So this is just the enlarged version of that. So we will be doing that also. But before we start off, let's go to the Bootstrap documentation. That is their official website. And let's see what all things do we have in these form elements, okay? So on their official page in the documentation, just type in form and you can just click on forms. And you can see this is all the different subtopics under the form elements. It's a huge topic. Basically what it has is it has a lot of number of classes which makes this styling something like this. If you don't have this classes, that is the form group or form control, form text and so on, we will not have this kind of styling on the form. Okay, so this is an example. We can directly copy paste this into our code. So we have some predefined classes again in Bootstrap which makes the look and feel of these forms like this. What you can do is you can just glance through this entire documentation. There is a lot of stuff. We won't be using everything over here. There is sizing, there is coloring, there is again the placement and the structuring, read-only property, read-only plain text, email, whatnot, So there are a lot of things over here. I'll drop this link of this official documentation if you want to go through it. There are different things like sizing, layouts, validations, custom forms, checkboxes and whatnot. You can just go through entire thing. You can take what you need. There are different examples also which you can directly copy paste and use it into your web page. So that's pretty cool, right? Anyways, let's move on to the actual development of our website now. So coming to the code, we only have the header and the footer, which is obviously common to all the pages. From the about us, what we'll do is we'll directly take the first section, that is the breadcrumb section. I'm going to copy paste it over here. And here I'm going to say contact us. Okay. On the top also I'm going to say contact us. Let's see. There you go. You can see the first section is added. Now, if you don't know what is this, breadcrumbs are basically this hierarchical tree structure which shows where exactly you are on the web page. So let's say you have multiple sub pages. Okay. So you have the services. Inside that you have web designing. And inside that if you have static and dynamic web designing, that is one more layer. In the hierarchy it will be like home / services / web designing and then / static web designing. Okay, so this breadcrumbs basically is just the path of the entire website where you are currently. So it is an inbuilt class again in Bootstrap. This is that class breadcrumbs and then breadcrumbs item which is structured inside a ordered list and then we have list items. Okay, so the first part is done. Let's see on the original website what we have. We have one more section which is having some text which says we are always here to help. And then in what time you can contact and in what time you can expect a reply and whatnot, how to contact and so on. So you can add some information about how people can contact you guys. So this is nothing but a complete container. You can see if you right click and inspect element. So this is one section. Inside that we have container. Inside that we have one single division. Inside that we have one column. So let's quickly add this. So coming to our contact us page, below the first section, I'm going to add one more section. Inside that I'm going to add the container row and column grid system. And then inside that I'm just going to copy paste this text in a paragraph tag. With that, I'm also going to give a horizontal rule. Now let's see how our website looks like. So there you go, the text and the horizontal rule is added. And now comes the actual form section, okay? So let's add another section, just copy paste this. And let's give it a class of form-section. We might need this to perform some custom styling. Now here inside this row, if you see, there are two columns. That is, the first column is the actual form, and then the second column is the address, contact number, and so on. So if you right click, it is a 6-6 split. You can see this is the row. Inside the row we have one column which is split in col MD6 over here, and this is also col MD6, which is a 6-6 split. So let's add that inside this row. I'm going to say col MD-6. Just copy paste this complete division, paste it over here. We don't need the horizontal rule. Now if you come on our website, there you go, you can see the split is happening. But now we need to add the form to the first column. So let's add the form. I'm going to say form, hit tab, and right now we don't need any action, or we don't need the method in which we are going to submit the form, because this is a static website, right? We don't need server-side programming, or we don't need the actual submit button functionality over here. If you're working on a dynamic website using maybe PHP or something, you will have something in the action, you will have something in the method, that is get and post. But obviously the styling is a part of the front end side, which is handled by the Bootstrap library. So let's hit enter right now. Now let's go to our website and see what all form elements or input tags we have onto our form. So the first two things is the full name and the email, right? So you can see these two text boxes are placed side by side and they have equal length, which means that there is an equal split between the two. So if I shrink this, you can see that the spacing or the sizing of the two text boxes is always going to be equal. Okay, so the width is in percentage and it's a 6-6 split, right? So let's see how you can add this. So in your code, the first thing is you have to add a division with a particular class. I'm just going to show it directly. So this is the division which says form group. Okay, now this form group has a column split of 6, or you can say 6 blocks. So obviously there is one more division which can occupy 6 spaces, because inside this col MD6, that is the outer column, we are splitting the inner part into 2 more 6-6 splits. Okay, this is what is happening over here. So for the 6-6 split to happen, let me add one more division over here. For this to happen, this division and this division needs to be wrapped inside a row, right? But this is not going to be the regular row, that is this class row. It is going to be a form row. Okay, so there is another class, so I'm going to say div, and the class over here is form-row. Okay, so it pretty much follows the same rules of the row, but it is specifically for form elements. So I'm going to cut these two divisions and paste it inside the row. And now let's see how our web page looks like, and then I'll explain what we have inside. Okay, so there you go, you can see the two text boxes have been added properly. And now let's get back to the code. So the first division inside the form is form row. Now inside that row, how many columns you want is again specified by this number 6 and 6, and of course we have 12 spaces available only. So the next child is form group. Now the reason why it is having a form group class is because obviously in one division you can have multiple input tags also, right? So if I copy this and paste it one more time, on the page you can see we've got multiple things. Now inside this division we have the actual input tag where the type is text, and we have one more last class which is form-control, which says that this is a form control and this is what is giving this a particular styling. You can see if you don't have this class, I'll just cut this. You can see how the text box looks like, right? It is not looking pretty nice. It is not properly positioned and the sizing is also different. So giving back its original class, there you go, you can see now it looks pretty nice. So 3 classes for the form. We have form row, form group, and then form control. So let's see what all details do we need to add. We need full name and email. So for the second input tag, I'm going to say email, and here I'm going to say email address. Now coming to our web page, there you go. These two things are added. Let's see what we have in the next row. We have phone number and we have a drop down. So let's add that. Again, I'm just going to copy this complete row and add another row over here. This is going to be number. I'm going to say contact number. And this is gonna be a drop down, right? So this is gonna be a select box and not an input tag. So let's see how we can add that. So instead of input tag, you just have to say select. You can give name ID, you don't have to give it anything. Right now we just need the class of form-control, and I hope you know what is select box. Basically it gives a drop down option, and inside the select box we have to add some options. So that goes in the options tag. So let's say India as the first. Okay, so instead of keeping this first, let me just copy all the options we have. So the first one is gonna be country, which means on the website it will first show that this is a country selection drop down, so that the user comes to know, okay, we have to select a country, because you don't have any labels over here, right? So if you see the original website, there you go, this is the country. We've added India, America, England and China. You can add more options if you want, depending upon your requirements. The contact number is also added. Now last thing is subject, which is taking the full space, and a text area, right? So let's add that. So we will again copy this complete row, paste it over here, but in this case we have only one division, that is we have only one form group which is taking 12 spaces. This is gonna be of text and this is subject. Coming to our web page, there you go, subject is added, last is text area. Let's add that, copying this complete form row again. Now instead of the input tag we have text area. The class has to be form control only, but you can specify how many number of rows, that is how wide is the text area going to be. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, so there you go. If I reduce this from 5 to 2, you can see only 2 spaces are there. Let's keep it 3. One last thing required is this button with this icon. This is a font awesome icon, and then we have a regular button which is a Bootstrap button. So let's add that. I'm just gonna add one more form row, obviously, because it is a part of the form. So this is that form row. Inside that we have form group. It is taking 12 spaces. I've set text center because we want the button in the center. We have our button which is type submit. Class is btn and btn primary. So btn is a Bootstrap class which gives it a button styling, and then btn-primary makes it blue in color. So if you see, this is our website and there you go. Now the icon is coming by using the italic tag, and we've used font awesome icons previously in this tutorial series. I hope you know how to use it. And then we have the text of send message. Okay, so entire form section is pretty much done over here. On the right hand side, what we have is we have heading tag, then we have some text. So if you right click and inspect element, so we have heading tag, then we have paragraph, inside that we have anchor tag. So this is pretty basic. I'm just literally gonna copy paste this because I'm assuming that you already know how to add basic heading tags, basic paragraph tags inside the second column. So the first column is done. I'm just gonna minimize this, which had the form, and this was the second column, right? So I'm just gonna erase this first. I'm gonna add a new complete column with all the code, and I've also given it a special class of address right now. I've added the first heading tag, then a paragraph, then an anchor, again heading tag, paragraph, heading tag, paragraph, heading tag, paragraph. So if you come on our actual website, there you go, you can see things are pretty much added. And if you see over here, things are a little bit bold over here because I've added a little bit of styling. So let's add that styling also. So I've given this division a class of address. So let's target that in our custom CSS file. So inside the CSS folder in the style.css, scroll down. So we did not even need any styling for the portfolio page. Everything was copy paste. So this is going to be the start of contact us page. Here I'm going to say dot address. Inside that I'm going to say, or you can say address space P. So everything inside the address division, which is a paragraph element, will have a font-weight of 600, which is semi-bold. Let's see. There you go, you can see it becomes a little bit bolder now if you compare it with the original one, and it looks pretty nice. So this was very basic stuff. So if you're wondering why this is showing in blue, is because obviously it is an anchor tag, and then we have the font awesome icons. So in the code you can see italic tag of phone number, and then we have the phone number. By the way, do not call on this number. This is not a regular or real number. It is a dummy number. But this email and the website is official. So if you have any queries, you can drop me a mail, and you can also check out our official website. And yeah, this address is fake. Don't try to come over here. This address doesn't exist. If you're gonna try to find me, you will not find me over here. And yeah, the contact form is pretty much ready. The last thing is this big section which has the map. It's pretty basic. It's a one section with having a iframe. So I'm quickly gonna add that also, and then I'll show you in the code. So below the last section above the footer, I'm just gonna add a new section. Give a division of container fluid. The reason why I give it of container fluid is because it takes up the entire width. And then I've added the iframe with the Google Maps link of Mumbai region. I've given the width of 100% and a height of 400 pixel. So if you come on our website, there you go. The entire map is being shown over here. I can reduce the height also to 300 if you want. There you go. Now it becomes a little thinner. So that's on you, whatever size you want. Let's lastly test it on a mobile phone. So let's toggle the device toolbar and let's see how it looks like on a phone. There you go. This is how it looks like on a phone. Looks pretty neat, right? Everything is stacked up properly. And even this is responsive because obviously it is inside a container fluid. And you don't need to give this iframe a class of embed responsive. That is because we've given the width of 100%. One small thing you can do is you can add a little bit of padding over here. So going to the top, you can see P- or you can see PL-3. So there is a little bit of padding added over here. And yeah, this is the contact us page. Looks pretty nice on a mobile phone as well as on a proper website. And now we have completely developed all the pages, that is the home page, the portfolio page, the about us page and the contact us page. So the only pages remaining are the services pages, and in the upcoming videos we'll try to develop all these different services pages. Okay, so that's it for this video guys. If you have any queries, you can always put them in the comment section. Please give it a like if you like this video, if you are understanding this entire series. Also drop me a comment and let me know how these videos are. That will be really nice so that I can get a live feedback from you. And thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.